Hello everybody, welcome to the BP Gamer channel, and today we're going to be taking on a Pokemon challenge. And in this challenge we'll be playing as a member of Team Aqua, and the rules are very simple. There's only 3 of them. Rule 1, we can only use Pokemon that Team Aqua either use throughout the game or try to steal. Rule number 2, we cannot use any items in battle. We can use held items, but we can't use potions and stuff like that. Rule number 3, I will try my best not to over level, so it's not like just a grind fest and then I win. And then yeah, that's about it. So we're going to be trying to beat Pokemon Emerald, the champion Wallace, with a team of Team Aqua Pokemon. And if this video does get 15 likes, then I will go ahead and do the same challenge but for Team Magma. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's get into Pokemon Emerald Aqua Edition. Our run starts off with the first sign of child neglect that probably drove us down the road of becoming a eco-terrorist, as we are sent to our new home in a pickup truck. We hop out quickly, and we are very quickly forced to save Professor Birch from a rabid Zigzagoon. And here's like the first, I guess, decision of the run that we have to pick. What starter? It doesn't really matter ultimately, because we're never going to use this in a battle, but I decided that the best starter to pick was definitely Mudkip. For a couple of reasons. One, it's a water type, so it kind of stays with the Aqua theme, but the other one is that it's going to be an amazing HM slave. So we pick Mudkip up simply for the easy travel throughout Hoenn if our Pokemon can't do it. So things like Rock Smash is going to be very useful in this Pokemon. We defeat the rabid Zigzagoon, and Birch thanks us by ordering us basically to go beat up his daughter. So we'll go do that. We'll go beat up the Trico. After a quick few tackles, we are easily able to defeat May, and then we get our Pokeballs, and now the run can really start. We can go ahead and come up to Route 101 here and catch ourselves a Poochyena. So Poochyena, you know, a staple of any Aqua team. Archie has one, all the Grunts basically has one, so we just go ahead, tackle it once, throw a Pokeball at it, and we catch ourselves a Poochyena, and we call it Shelly after one of the Team Aqua admins. And then after that, we go ahead, we level it up to around level 6 or 5, I can't remember which one, level 5, and we go ahead and start beating up some children for their lunch money, because we're evil and that's how we roll. But we actually run into youngster Alan here, and I kid you not, this is the 4th hardest encounter in the game, as he does kill Shelly, and we do white out. And it was here I was like, you know what, actually, you know what Team Aqua would really love to use, but they could never steal it, and that's Pico. So we are going to go ahead and catch ourselves a Wingull, simply because youngster Alan beat me up and it wasn't looking too good, and that's why I made this arbitrary rule that you can try and catch Pokemon that Team Aqua have tried to steal. So we finally find ourselves a Wingull that we don't kill, and we name it Pico after the Wingull Team Aqua tries to steal later in the game. So there we go. Now that we have Pico, we can finally take back on youngster Alan here. So it's going to be a lot easier this time, just some water guns, and it's just all done. And we finish beating up children on this route, and we go ahead and talk to our second hit of child neglect that probably drove us to the way of being an eco-terrorist. We help this young little kid get himself a Ralts. And yeah, nothing much else really important happens throughout this run. We meet a colleague in the Petalburg Forest, but nothing much to mention. So I thought I'll just take on Roxanne here. I haven't done any grinding at all. As you can see, Pico and Poochyena here are both the same level as the Pokemon in this gym. So come back through after beating all the trainers, just water gunning everything basically. And I thought, yeah, level 11 Roxanne. Now, when doing this, I kind of didn't think we would win. Like, I really doubt that we would win this battle, simply because Nosepass is actually really tanky. Like, it has about, I think 50 more special defense than Geodude, and it's not 4 times super effective, it's only 2 times super effective. But I thought I'd give it a go here anyway. So one water gun is enough to take out both of Roxanne's Geodudes. So these were never the issue at all. I always knew that Wingull was just going to one-shot them. They're not a problem whatsoever. But in comes Nosepass, big nose wobbling, and oh my god. This does a lot less than I thought. I thought maybe a 3-hit KO and it would 1-hit KO us, but that looks like about a 5th to me. And this Rock Tomb, yeah, just absolutely annihilates Pico. And yeah, so we kind of know this isn't going to work. We still have Shelly level 10, but Shelly doesn't have Bite or anything yet. I do try to sand attack Howlet, but it just doesn't work out at all. It just goes through the sand attack like I never was there. Kills us with a Rock Tomb. And I don't think we're ever going to be chipping through this anyway, just simply because Nosepass has 120 defense. So even with +5 howls, he would always be +5 defense after hardening. So yeah, it just wasn't going to work. And unfortunately, we do have to go to Route 116 to train up quickly. So after defeating all the trainers in 116, we are simply able to water gun our way through Roxanne, and we make our way back to Nosepass. So again, like this... This water gun does significantly more damage as we are 5 levels higher. I do try to supersonic just to see if we can stop the attack, which was really dangerous actually, because as we're about to find out, Wingull really can't afford to take any attacks here. So it's still not doing even half, which doesn't proc the Aurum Berry, which is really sad. But we will get another water gun off here. So this is looking about where I wanted our damage to be, around 3 water guns at level 15, which is kind of sad to think about, but nonetheless, that's where we're at. And this Rock Tomb almost takes us out. We live on 5 HP. Our speed is lowered. And yeah, then the Aurum Berry procs. There's just a lot of healing from here on out. She still has 2 potions left as well, because we do one-shot the Geodude, so like she's not going to use them on that. She potions up, and yeah, all our hard work is just gone. But we do go for this water gun again. Bam. Again, I really wish it was just a little bit more damage, because then this could be a 2-hit KO. But unfortunately, we leave it on very, very low HP. She goes for another Rock Tomb here. That is enough to take out Pico, obviously, with the 5 HP. Always going to take us out. And now I'm like, yeah, we should be fine, I reckon. Because Bite in this game, if you didn't know, is actually a special attack. So in most instances, this is really annoying because Poochyena and Mightyena have better attack stats. But in this instance, Bite is just a lot more useful because we're not going up against 120 defense. We're going up against 80 special defense. So eventually we just hit it with enough bites and Nosepass is taken out. I think it took us like 4 bites or so. We were lucky enough that she didn't use multiple Rock Tombs, otherwise Poochyena definitely would have gone down there. But yeah, so that's Roxanne done. After beating all the trainers in Route 116 with a level 15 Wingull, we were able to beat her. And I think if we went for that first water gun, we would have been able to beat her anyway, so I'm not too sad about that. But after that, one of our colleagues is stirring up trouble, so we have to go sort them out real quick. We're about the environment, not making old people's days a bad time, so I come over here and I talk some sense into him with my own Pico. And yeah, not much to really see for this battle, just kind of Wingull doing Wingull things. But it is cool to see what we inspire to be, an Aqua Grunt, as we just demolish him. After quickly saving Pico with our own Pico, we apparently halt this Team Aqua Grunt's career in crime. That's one of the best lines I've ever heard. The old man is then kind enough to take us to Doofwood, where we catch Matt the Zubat. And yeah, so Matt's going to be a pretty cool member of the team. I do love myself the Zubat line, it's just one you don't get to use much. But with not much else to do here in Doofwood, we do go ahead and take on Brawly, the second gym leader. So this gym should be pretty easy. We do have 2 flying types. Zubat doesn't have any super effective moves yet, but it does 4 times resist the fighting stab. So after a few wing attacks, this gym's pretty easy. So Pico is proving to be quite useful in this early game. So we just go ahead, hit it with the wing attack, and then we do kill the meta type, but I accidentally cut that out. But here we go, we kill the Monkey Hitter with a crit there. So super lucky on our part, but I don't really think it could have done much anyway. So there we go, we have attained the second gym badge, so we're making really good time here. Level 19 still, so not too high level. But this is where the run starts to get challenging in the next gym. So we have a little bit of calm before the storm. We drop the letter off to Steven, he gives us Steel Wing, which will be useful later in the game. Our colleagues are again causing trouble for these poor, simple people who don't understand that water is king, but like, come on guys, you don't have to beat it into them. They'll understand once the floodwaters come. We try to use Matt here, but we do just get hit with a crit and just absolutely annihilated there, so it's kind of sad that we probably will need to grind Matt against wild Pokemon before we can start using him in battles. But that's just how Zubat rolls. It's very weak at the start. And there we go. Pico just kind of coming in, cleaning up the rest of these Aqua Grunts and, you know, showing them that we're cooler. Archie himself comes up and tells us that we don't understand his message, but like, I'm totally on board, bro, and would really like to join. So if you could just stop assuming, that'd be fantastic. After quickly beating up some more trainers, Shelly is going to go ahead and evolve into a Mightyena, which is super helpful because, you know, It's better. It's way better than a Poochyena. So we got ourselves our own Money Anna. Archie would be so proud of us right now. And with Money Anna now on our team, I think we're more than ready to take on May for our second battle. Third battle? Second. We'll go second. So we start off with Matt here, and I'm like, yeah, nah, Matt's not going to cut it. So we switch it back into Shelly. Level 19, easily takes out Wingull. We are actually like a lot lower HP than I would like to be, but you know, I thought it'd be fine. She sends out Grovyle. I thought, yeah, Matt should be fine. We do 4 times resistant stab, but no, we are not okay. And Grovyle actually ends up taking out Wingull, which is super sad. And she sends out Slugma. So this battle, like, not looking great, but I think it's just more of the fact that we played it badly more than the fact that it's a hard battle. And we live on 1 HP, and that is enough to beat May. So really lucky in that battle. And I think, yeah, I think it's about time that we train Matt up. So I really make sure that it's the that Matt is the focus of training from now on, and we go ahead and evolve him into a Golbat. So yeah, we're getting a real power boost on our team at the moment, as after Golbat, Pico is quick to follow in the evolution. And with Pico finally evolved, we can go ahead and think about taking on Watson now. Oh my god. Watson is the hardest trainer in this challenge. And I kid you not, it took me well over 4 hours to actually beat Watson. And oh my god. It, like, just thinking about it now makes me angry. So in this first attempt, his Voltorb goes ahead and starts with Self-Destruct, and here I'm like, I should be fine to set up against this Electrike, but even after 3 howls, Tackle is a 2-hit KO still, so I'm like, yeah, this isn't looking good. He sends out Magneton, and Magneton does actually resist Bite, and we switch over. I'm like, well, crap, what do we do here? We go out to Pico, but, you know, 4 times weak to Electric, it's just not going to be doing much, and Matt is 2 times weak to Electric, and none of our moves are hitting this Magneton for super effective. So I thought, maybe we just got unlucky. I start with Mighty Anna again. I decide here, nah, we'll just take out Electrike and make sure Shelly's nice and healthy for this Magneton, and hopefully we can get some nice damage onto it. But as you can see, we're doing absolutely nothing to this Magneton, and it's just, it's depression. But this is why this gym's so hard. Because 2 of our Pokemon are very weak to Electric, and the other Pokemon can't hit it for super effective with its stab. So I decide to go ahead and start grinding, and we actually find something really cool. Holy crap, I found a shiny Poochyena. Oh my god. How many Pokeballs do I have? I have 3. I did it. Surely it doesn't have Raw. Surely it doesn't have Raw. Okay. Wait, Poochyena. Hang on. This is scary. I don't think it has Raw. Surely it doesn't. Level 16. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Oh my god, guys. We did it. Oh my lord. Here I was grinding for this goddamn gym. Hello? There we go. Oh my. Don't get the ball, bro. I don't want to, like, hit it. Oh, Astonish shouldn't kill. Missed Oxys. Yeah, okay. One more shouldn't kill either, please. Okay. And we got the flinch poggies. Almost ran. That could have been bad. Oh my god. Shiny Shelly. Man, I hope it's runaway. Because then that way we can actually... Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, we actually find a shiny Poochyena, which is super cool. Like, probably one of the best mons to get shiny, as almost every Aqua Grunt has one. So I go ahead and I name it Bagel after Mr. Bagel Bites, one of my favorite YouTubers, and I want to say personal friend. And yeah, so I thought naming it after him was appropriate. After some more grinding, Bagel goes ahead and evolves into Mighty Anna again. So now we're rocking 2 Mighty Annas on the team, just until we get past Watson, and I'll probably switch them back. But at the moment, any death fodder is good fodder, so I decided to keep 2 Mighty Annas, and here is the beautiful beast himself, Bagel, the shiny Mighty Anna. So that's really, really cool. I was actually super stoked to get a Gen 3 shiny because the rates are so high. But here we go. We battle Watson once again with 2 Mighty Anna, and yeah, no, we start with Golbat this time because I thought, well, Golbat's probably the most expendable on the team at the moment because it's doing the least amount of damage. And I was feeling pretty good about this, right? That Spark didn't do too much damage. While Voltorb is his weakest one, I was pretty happy with that. It does just go for self-destruct at the end here, just ending its life. But I didn't really realize how much that Voltorb used self-destruct, as in the later runs it really just decided not to. He brings out Electrike now, and like, yeah, a couple of bites should be enough. I'm really hoping for a flinch here. Unfortunately, we don't get it, and he just goes for Thunder Wave. And yeah, it's just a, Shock Wave, and it is just enough to take out Matt. So yeah, no, it's not looking too great. Like, it's looking alright, but not too great. So I sent out Pico, because again, Pico is the second most expendable, because it just dies to any attack Manectric goes for. And in most cases, Manectric does just outspeed Pelipper. So we go ahead, take out Electrike. So we got through 2 Pokemon, but losing any Pokemon before Electrike usually is bad luck. But we bring back out Shelly, now level 29, and actually has Swagger. And Swagger's going to be pretty helpful. And so we're just going to be basing it off luck, really. If it hits itself in Confusion, then we're in a really good spot. And the best thing about Swagger too is it can use Howl. So we can actually get it to a +3 attack, and none of its moves are actually physical. So if it hits itself in Confusion, it's going to be doing a hefty chunk. But yeah, so this is just basically the strategy for this gym that we're going to apply for most of the attempts. So now it also has to get through getting confused and flinched. I mean, we don't outspeed, so it doesn't have to worry about getting flinched at the moment. But yeah, look how much damage that Confusion did. It almost did as much as our Bite. And unfortunately, even though Bite's a special move in this game, it still counts as contact, so we do get hit with the status, which is so annoying. And it snaps out a Confusion on its second turn. So yeah, no, it's looking real unlucky here. We get another Bite off, and I'm like, maybe we can do it, but yeah, no, we get taken out with a couple of Shock Waves, and then Magnemite is enough to actually finish us off. So after losing from what feels like the 25th attempt, I decide to just go ahead and cycle backwards and forwards with the speed up button. If you didn't know, the amount of steps you take with the Pokemon in front of your party actually levels up its happiness. So if you do enough with them back and forwards and then level up your Pokemon, it will evolve. And again, after another, probably, I want to say another 11 attempts, we finally get the winning run. So we take out Electrike with basically no problem. Here I'm debating whether I get Scary Face or not and just lower the speed of like Manectric, but I decide, yeah, no, Swagger and Tackle are just too useful at the moment, because Tackle's just really good for hitting stuff that Bite just doesn't do much to. But yeah, so we go ahead, get the Confusion on this Magneton. It does hit itself in Confusion, and the next Bite is enough to take it out. So Shelly absolutely popping off here is actually almost takes out his whole gym. He does spam a few Super Potions, but that's fine. Another Shockwave will be enough to take us out. But in comes Matt, the new Crobat, and he just full on just goes ahead. Wing attack here. Bite probably was more effective, but nonetheless, we get a critical hit. Probably didn't matter, but we finally take out Watson, thank God. And while it only showed a couple attempts, it honestly took me, like, I'm paused here. I'm actually just like, I'm speechless. I'm so happy that this is finally over. But yeah, I straight up like 4 hours to beat Watson. It doesn't look very difficult when I only show you 3 attempts, but just think about the fact that I did 10 times more attempts. So not much else to do but head over to Meteor Falls, where we run into the rival group Team Magma, as they're, debating about land and all that good jazz. Archie does show up, and he's just like, yo, man, these Team Magma guys kind of whack, and I have to completely agree with him. They are pretty whack. I understand why they would want it to be so hot and not wet, but we go over to Mount Chimney, declare to Maxie that, yeah, Team Aqua's the bomb, and we quickly make sweet work of his Pokemon with Pico. He starts off with Mightyena, which actually is doing more damage than I would have liked, but that's fine. He brings out Zubat, and yeah, two water guns, easy enough. 1 water gun for his Camerupt, and yeah, so it's really easy now on. After beating Watson too, like, we're pretty high level, because I honestly just had to grind to do damage to his Pokemon and outspeed his Manectric, so we are a little bit over leveled at the moment, but I am going to try my best to not keep it that way. So as you can see, Pico absolutely popping off again against Flannery, where a lot of our Pokemon are 4 times weak to Water Gun. So Numel, easy 1-hit KO. It's just, yeah, it's basically just a lot of Water Guns going off here. She brings out Slugma. And this is what makes me so scared to do the Magma Challenge, is the fact that a lot of the fire types that Magma uses, aka Numel, are actually 4 times weak to water. So, and if you guys didn't know a lot about this game, you haven't read any IGN reviews, there is a lot of water in this game. So I'm really scared to do the Magma Challenge, and this is just an example where this our own Pelipper just completely sweeps through Flannery here. Her Torkoal actually comes out now, and it's actually a lot harder to put down, mainly because it is like a fully evolved Pokemon, and the fact that it's like a bit bulkier than the rest, and it's also not 4 times weak. So we go for this Water Gun, and it actually does like, it does half still, but like, damn, there's a lot less than I thought. And then Sunny Day coming out, like I thought it would do 3/4 to be honest. And with Sunny Day, our water type moves are weakened by 50%, so this next Water Gun will not take it out. Like, look how much less damage that does, it's kind of crazy. Goes for Body Slam here. Does a decent chunk, but nothing too crazy. The Sunlight's still going, obviously, which we're not too mad about, as we will just like Water Gun our way through victory here, even though it will take a bit more time, but eventually we do kill Torkoal. After defeating Flannery, it's time to tackle our childhood trauma head on as we take on Norman. So Norman's pretty scary because he does have slacking. Thankfully in this game he doesn't have 2 of them, so I actually thought he did. So I was a lot more scared coming into this battle. But he starts off with Spinner, and I was like, sweet. This should be an easy Pokemon to set up on at the moment. So I go for a couple of Howls, but unfortunately it does go for the Tether Dance in this 3rd turn here, which is super annoying because if you don't know, the more you up a stat, if you hit yourself in Confusion, then you actually do more damage. So if you're +3, then you hitting yourself in Confusion is going to do like 3 times the amount of damage. So I do hit myself in Confusion here, and it does put it in range for Spinder to take out Bagel, which is really sad. Matt comes in, takes out Spinder, takes out Vigoroth, and things are looking pretty good. The in comes Linoon that just goes straight for the belly drop, and that just means its attack is maxed out. And I'm like, well, crap. So Bagel goes down, Matt goes down, but we still have one last hope, which is the Mudkip. Can it take it out? No, Mudkip goes down too. So he even killed our little slave Pokemon, which is super brutal, to be honest. Like, Dad carved out, it's okay. But here is our 2nd attempt. Matt is confused, but Matt does not care. We are just wing attacking our way through the rest of his team. Here I actually decided to go for Steel Wing, so I was like, well, Steel Wing actually has the chance to up your defense. So I go for another Steel Wing here because I would think, yeah, he's probably going to go for that belly drum. So we have +2 defense, and we just barely live that facade from Linoon, and he sends out his slacking. So here's when my BGC brain goes off once he hits this Yawn. So I go for Supersonic so it attacks less if it hits itself in Confusion. And then, yes, so we go for Water Gun just to do some damage. And he goes ahead and goes for the Yawn. So if you don't know what Yawn does, it's a 2-turn move. The first turn you're drowsy, and then the next turn you fall asleep. So in most cases, it really forces you to switch out. But this is where, like, light bulb moment. Both of my Mighty Anna actually have Intimidate. So if you don't know what Intimidate cycling is, it's basically you just switch out 2 Pokemon with Intimidate over and over again until they get to -6. So that's exactly what I do. I feel a bit scummy, but it's the best thing to do. And the best thing about doing this against Slacking is it can only attack every 2nd turn. So we only really get hit every 2nd switch. So it's really every 1st switch, sorry. So he's confused, hits himself in Confusion, we don't even get hit, we switch again. I'll speed it up a bit for you guys here. Bring out Shelly, Intimidate once again, and you're gonna know that it stops, like that you've done enough, which is 6 Intimidates, which so 3 switches more or less. But yeah, so we get another Intimidate off here. Confused. It tries to hit us with a move, but it fails. We switch again, that's another Intimidate. And yeah, so in this game, I don't think it says this attack can't go any lower. The Intimidate just stops going off. But yeah, so this is a really easy way. If you have 2 Intimidate mons, which you almost won't unless you have 2 Mighty Anna in this game. But this is a quick way to get it to -6. So yeah, our ability doesn't activate, and we're able just to whittle this Slacking down slowly but surely. Since it is -6, it can't do much damage to us. And we finally knock it out with a critical bite. And there we go. We finally have defeated Norman. So fantastic. We get access to Surf, which is a huge buff for Pico. And like a huge buff. We've been using Water Gun this whole time. It's been doing absolutely no damage. But yeah, we finally beat, defeat a neglectful dad. And we give Pico Surf, sorry. But yeah, another cool thing about Pico is that it actually learns Shockwave, which is going to be super helpful for the next gym. And here we go. and we get the good rod thanks to the surf. We name it Archie because big man himself. And after just one level up, Archie actually evolves into Sharpedo, which is super sick. Sharpedo is a really cool Pokemon that I've never used in a playthrough before, actually. So really, really cool to see. It's super frail though, so like if you're doing this challenge yourself, just watch out what you're doing with Sharpedo. It tends to kind of just get one shot, but it does do insane damage. The other problem with Sharpedo too is both of its stabs are actually special in this game. So water is special and so is dark, but Sharpedo's best stat is attack, which I never got. Why make a dark water type with a physical attack? But not much to talk about the trainers, so we do just go into the Weather Institute, take on Shelly, one-shot both Hermione, Anna, and Carvana. It's super easy. We get given cast form for our troubles. I name it Uwu because, it's cute. It's a cute little cast form. But we aren't going to use it in this run. We take on May for a third time. We just go ahead, surf her Slugma. And I do forget to switch here because I was kind of autopiloting. And Grovyle does take out Archie. But honestly, Match is strong enough to sweep through the rest of our team. And she does have 2 grass types. And yeah, so not much to do again other than take on the flying gym. And this gym was always like, I thought it was going to be a really hard gym until I found out Pico can actually learn Shockwave. So Shockwave, obviously in a flying gym, comes in super handy here, and I couldn't be more thankful that we have it. So yeah, I was really happy with Pico here. And I don't know what I'm going to do without Pico in my Magma run, because I decided that I won't use Pico in the Magma run if we do it. I was going to use Cast Form, so yeah, I don't know what we're going to do in that run. But for now, this is a super easy battle for us. We just go ahead, take her on. We just go for basically Shockwave spam. It doesn't quite like do a ton of damage, and then here for Tropius, we just use Fly. Easy to hit KO, nothing to worry about there. Brings out her own Pelipper where we could just use Shockwave, and this should just, one-shot it, obviously, as we learned from Watson that Pelipper doesn't really appreciate Shockwave. She brings out Skarmory, and I couldn't remember if Steel resisted Electric or not, but thankfully it is super effective still. And here we're just going to use Matt to take out the Altaria, and I was really sad that we didn't get a single critical hit on this Air Cutter, because it is actually like 2% more. But there we go, Fiona, another easy battle, but it will get harder from here. After getting our 6th badge, we once again have to stop our Aqua colleagues from bullying old people, because I guess they just hate pensioners. And then we basically told that Team Aqua is up to no good, so we have to go stop them. But before that, we need to quickly backtrack and beat up our rival one last time before she never shows her face again, just to the embarrassment. Again, this is like a really easy fight. She has 3 grass types, so it's just kind of pressing the flying type button and then the water type button once Slugma comes out. We find Magma's secret base, quickly make quick work of the inside of it, and then we battle Maxi, which again is really easy with our team because, well, we just destroy him with the water type moves, so it's like nothing too crazy. Like Magma's completely outmatched against Aqua. I don't understand how it was ever a battle. So yeah, just a couple of surfs and shockwaves, and Pico easily 1v1s Maxi. We then go to the next Aqua base. We meet Matt, the Crobat himself, but it's kind of sad because he doesn't even have his own Crobat, just a Golbat Mariana, which died to a surf and shockwave. So again, nothing too crazy. But finally, we have a challenging battle, which is actually Tate and Liza. This was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd be fine because we have 2 surf Pokemon, and I kind of forgot that in Emerald that they had more than Solrock and Lunatone. So this was a lot harder than I remember it being. But yeah, so this Claydol especially just absolutely destroys us. Look at these earthquakes. Like, it takes out 2 of our Pokemon and almost 3. But yeah, so this Claydol, absolute pain in my bit. And then 1 Psychic is enough just to take out Crobat, as we do get hit by the Psychic from Lunatone on Uwu as well. Solrock does go for the Flamethrower, but thankfully it is not enough for Solrock to do anything. We get the flinch there, and that flinch honestly won us the game here. We get a bunch of bites off, and here I'm thinking, well, you just have to Ancient Power me. But, fun fact, Lunatone actually doesn't have any damaging move other than Psychic. So we quickly run out of bites because he does have Cold Mind and Light Screens up. So now it's just a matter of killing it before it goes into struggle. So I go ahead and confuse it, because if it hits itself in confusion, then it actually doesn't use a PP point, which is fantastic for us because we really don't want this thing to struggle because it will win. She uses another potion, which is super annoying. We spend most of this fight asleep, to be honest, which is super sad. And I think I just kind of click at one point. I'm like, yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm just going to start pressing How. So How just ups our attack, so we have to use less strengths, and she has to use less attacks as well, because she will run out of PP before we do, simply because she's not asleep for the whole fight. So there we go. Easily take out Tate and Liza. Or not easily, it was all kind of just dumb luck, to be honest with you. We're just lucky that Lunatone didn't have another attacking move, and I decided to target Solrock because I completely didn't know that that's how that worked. I'm going to be real with you for a second. I honestly thought it had like ancient power and we were just done there. I was ready to hit that reset button. And we then go into the space station quickly with Steven Stone, take out Maxi once again, because like that's all we do in this late game is taking out Magma and Aqua, which is super annoying. With the dive acquired from Steven, we accidentally make our way to Satopolis, which was just me getting lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, here it is. This should be it. Should be where they where the base is. Where am I? I was so confused. I honestly, not gonna lie to you guys for a second. I had to look it up because I, for the life of me, couldn't remember where to go to find Maxi, to find the sea foam cavern. But eventually I do. We run into Maxi with his, Archie with his Kyogre. And the same thing pretty much happens. He uses the orb, it doesn't work. But instead we battle him first before it doesn't work. And yeah, this battle was harder than Maxi simply because a lot of his Pokemon are harder to hit. And by a lot of, I just kind of mean his Sharpedo. We do also hit ourselves in confusion with that Swagger. But eventually we do take it out. Crobat comes out. It's like Wing Attack versus Air Cutter. And I honestly thought that Air Cutter would be better because I thought we'd get more critical hits, but I swear we only crit with Air Cutter like once. It's really sad. It's meant to have a higher critical hit ratio and therefore technically do more damage. But once again, Pico comes out and is just the absolute Chad and just absolutely destroys everything. He sends out Sharpedo. I was a little bit worried here because I don't think Pico can take a crunch, but thankfully Shockwave is more than enough to take it out. So Maxi uses his red orb here, makes Kyogre really, really grumpy, like honest to God pissed. So off it flies up into the air, and we have to go back to Satopolis now to check out the lover's spat, to say the least. So he's like, what? Why can't I control legendary Pokemon? It's like, Archie, buddy, it's okay. But here we go. Groudon and Kyogre having their lover's spat, and it's like, guys, please just calm down. Please, it's okay. It's okay. You guys can just share. It's all good, man. And so we're sent off to get their divorce lawyer, Rayquaza here, and it just settles it quietly. Thankfully, we can move on to the 8th gym. So here we are onto the 8th gym, and I thought this would be pretty easy, and it was easier than some of the other gyms, like definitely easier than Watson, but probably I would say easier than Tate and Liza as well. But we do have to do 2 attempts here, but let's go ahead and show us our first attempt. So we go for the Shockwave, and it doesn't even one-shot Love Disc. And as you can see, like it's mainly because I'm not a very high level. Like I'm the same level as his Pokemon with Pico, who just destroyed 2 big boss battles. So yeah, to say the least, we're a little bit, I wouldn't say underleveled, we're equal level, but that does bring a big part to why we kind of struggle so much against this guy. We do bring down his Wish Cache. The other issue is as well, we just don't have any damage against water types. Like we do damage, but we take more than we give, if that makes sense, which is going to be a huge problem if you guys remember who the champion is later in the game. But yeah, with Bagel here, we are able to take out his Celio though with a couple of powers and strengths, and we bring him down to his Crawdon. But unfortunately, with the potion, it's not going to go down too easily. Finally, we take it out with the one last slash, and he brings out Kingdra. And this is the most annoying Pokemon in the world. So Water Pulse goes off, fair enough. We bring out Bagel, he goes for Ice Beam, and we miss. We go for our first Air Cutter, we just miss completely. He goes for Rest, and then he starts double teaming. So now we really do start missing attacks, as we were barely hitting Air Cutter to begin with. We bring out Pico now, and we just pray that it can't get any attacks through, but it does eventually get the Ice Beam. We send out our little slave once again just to be murdered. We send out Uwu just to be murdered once again, because I keep forgetting to put them in the box. But after doing some quick training with the trainers underneath, I think we're ready to take him on once again. So Pico, Still kind of struggling to kill this Love Disc, taking more damage from it than last time, but that is okay. We get level 44. This time Archie's healthy enough to come out and just two-shot Wish Cash. Thankfully for that. Archie is just a huge special attacker apparently. Like I think it has the same special attack as Pico. Maybe a bit more actually. But yeah, with like five shockwaves, we're finally able to take out Celio because that thing is just tanky as hell. He gets one double team off, and here I'm really scared. Unfortunately, we can't take more than one Ice Beam, which is a bit silly on my part. We're very lucky to hit two air cutters there, but as you can see, we lose on our second attempt as well. This Kindra is giving us a lot of issues. We just can't do any damage to it more than anything, and then it's just annoying. So I decided to lead off with Archie because I'm like, screw it. Pelipper's taking way too much damage on this first fight, and then Archie takes too much damage from this Wish Cash. Thankfully, it sets up the rain, so we do two-hit KO it. And this time I'm like, yeah, I'll just leave it in. I'm sure Shockwave will be fine. We don't really need Pico for anything other than these Celios anyway. It's just more the fact that I wanted to keep it healthy for this fight, so nothing else had to take damage. So it does get taken out. We do send out Bagel here. Go for a Howl, because I'm thinking, well, we can probably get one good hit in on the Kingdra before it kills us. But unfortunately, he does send out Crawdon, so we can't really get that first strength. That bite there was just to try and get a flinch and then get the last strength damage off. And here I just start spamming Earthquake. But I guess like in reality, I probably should have been spamming Slash because it has a high critical hit chance. And then here I just go for the bite, and there we go. We finally beat the last gym leader, thankfully. And now it's time to go to the victory road. But before that, we have to pick up a very important item on the abandoned ship. So on the abandoned ship here, we go into this room after you get the key, and you can pick up the TM for Ice Beam, which is super important for a later fight in the game, and makes just one Elite Four member really easy for us. If you remember who that is, good for you. But yeah, let's go. There's only two notable battles in the victory road, to be honest, and that is Wally. And Wally wasn't too difficult. Like, he was kind of annoying, but nothing crazy. My main mistake against Wally, which is my mistake that I make every time a Roselia comes out, is that I keep thinking I can one-shot it and then live a Giga Drain, but it never happens. I always get one-shot by Giga Drain on Sharpedo. It goes back to full HP, and then one of my flying types has to come in and deal with it. But here we just get a couple of Howls off again, which is just the prime strategy with Mightyena, because, it just needs a bit of help. Get a couple of strengths off to deal with Delcatty. He brings out Gardevoir. 2 strengths is more than enough to take it out, and that is Wally defeated. But here is the hardest battle in Victory Road for my team, and it's these 2 Ace Trainers. It took me 3 attempts to beat these Ace Trainers. I kid you not. That's the same amount of attempts that it took me to do the 8th gym. I was so mad, because Slacking has Ice Beam and Gardevoir has Thunderbolt, which basically covers my whole team. And the Slacking does enough damage that Bagel can't really do anything either. It's just, I was stunned. I was like, there's no way I'm losing right now. Like, there's just no goddamn way. I couldn't believe it. I was losing my mind. I was already a bit mad. I can't remember why, but I just remember being really mad at this moment. So I was giga tilted at this part. I couldn't tell you why I was tilted. I was just tilted. I think it's because I was coming into this thinking it was going to be the easiest battle of my life, but it definitely was not. And so we go for a second attempt. We get to his second Slacking. That's right. They have a Slacking each. And yeah, we just get taken out again. And it's super sad. So I finally give up, save for them so we can just reset next time. And then I realized you could just walk past them this whole time. I was shocked, but my pride, I had to defeat them. I was going to say kill. I felt like kill was the right word because that's what I was feeling, a lot of anger, but kill wasn't the right word. But we're finally able to take them out in a not double battle format because those 2 Pokemon together, it's just way too much for my team to handle just because of how weak we are to both of them. So as you can see, Gardevoir almost one-shots us. I'm kind of debating learning Skull Bash, but there's no real reason. We kind of just die in one hit anyway, and it's only 30 less than Slash, and if Slash gets a critical hit, then Slash does more anyway. So I thought, it'll be fine. He goes for the Brick Break here, we die. Oh yeah, and he tried to Toxic Storm me too with the Dust Clubs like it's a Drayano hack. So that was real annoying. But yeah, we finally, after a lot of bashing around with the fly button, because Pico apparently actually takes out like Slacking pretty well. It's just the fact that Gardevoir kept one-shotting us with Thunderbolt. So we're lucky enough that it hits itself in confusion. We live on 10 HP, and we finally beat those Ace trainers. And with that, I have enough confidence to do my first attempt on the Elite Four. So I'll show the first attempt on Sydney and Fiobe and all that jazz, and then we'll skip the rest until the victory run. But I think this first run goes pretty well from memory. We just kind of just brute force our way through. He sends out Cacturne, and I'm like, yeah, cool. Actually, I really can't remember if this. No, we do 2 attempts. Sorry. So this attempt doesn't go too splendidly, simply because the Torment actually is really just hinders us a lot. And this Absol's outspeeding us as well, and it has Rock Slide, which is just, again, really annoying for our flying types. I don't know why everyone's so prepared for flying types, but it's quite obnoxious. We bring in Archie for this final bout, and yeah, we just die again. But I'm kind of like, that's not too bad. Like, I definitely feel like we can beat him. I keep going to say kill, which is really brutal, but like, I definitely feel like we can beat him. I think we just need to get a bit luckier and a bit smarter. So I start off with Archie this time, so Bagel takes less damage. And I just go straight for the Surf. We get a crit, lucky for us, and just one-shot Mariana to begin with. We get Crobat out here, defeat Cacturne pretty easily, sends out Shiftry. Again, is a kind of annoying because he gets a Torment off, but nothing we can really do about it. We get a Steel Wing. He sends out Absol. We get Archie out this time. We get an Earthquake. He gets his Berry. And really, I should be surfing here, but it's really whatever. We get another Earthquake off, and one more. We get 2 high-range Earthquakes, which is super lucky for us. And we bring out the good old Pico. 2 Shockwaves, takes out Crawdon. So that's Sydney done. The easiest Elite Four member in this game. But yeah, we did lose our first attempt, so that's yeah, that's something to think about for the rest of them. We come over to Fiobe. I think I'm saying that right. I kind of hope I'm saying that right. It'd be a bit embarrassing if I wasn't. We don't actually have... Oh, no, we do have Crunch at the moment. No, I remember we got Crunch level like 46 or something crazy. I thought we only had Bite, which would have been really embarrassing. But yeah, her Dust Club's super annoying. And the first turn, it'll always go for double Protect just to stall out your BP. Your BP... God, duh. PP, which like basically brings you down to like half the amount of crunches you should have at the end of the battle. It's super annoying. And it's something you kind of click onto once you do it enough. But this first attempt goes fine. We do just win. I don't know why here I decided to go for Surf and not just Crunch, but, you know, it does end up making Archie go down, which was just, yeah, that was a weird play on my part, and it almost, like, loses us the run here. I was like, what am I doing, bro? So we get a couple of Surfs off, we die, we send back out Matt, who outspeeds with the Aerial Ace, and that is Dust Clubs taken care of. So that's the first Elite Four member that we beat in the first go, and then we come into... You thought Watson was bad, man? Glacier is so much more annoying. Because, like, she doesn't one-shot your Pokemon, she slowly whittles them down, and it just feels worse. It feels a lot worse. So as you can see, the Ice Ball just racks up. We finally kill Celio, but it does have the Hail set up, so yeah, we just kind of die. Unfortunately, the Steel Wing doesn't even do half, which is a bit embarrassing. We live on 5 HP here. I'm like, we'll go through. But yeah, we just die. And I'm like, we'll try another attempt, and we don't even get past the second. We don't get past Glalie again. Just kind of sweeps through us once more. So I'm like, oh man, this is really annoying. So I'm like, what are we meant to do? We have one more attempt here. We're level 50 now, as compared to like the level 49 we were a second ago. But yeah, so this is a decent run if I remember properly. Like, we get through most of our Pokemon here, but my god, like, we just don't do enough damage, and they're hitting us so hard. Here I go for another Steel Wing, so I'm like, well, it probably does more damage than Aerial Ace at the moment. And he goes for the Icy Wind, and look how close we are from just two hit KOing this Glalie, man. I was so sad. Goes for the full restore, a couple of crunches, more than enough to take it out, but we are on really low HP again. But this time we make it to, I'm pretty sure we do make it to her Walrein. I kind of speak a little bit fast here for this, but a Shockwave. 2 more of them, more than enough to take out Celio once again. And then, yeah, we brings out the Glalie. I'm like, well, we're coming super close. Goes for Explosion, so who knows? Maybe if it didn't go for Explosion, we would have never made it to this Walrein. But yeah, Surf just kills Archie. And yeah, I'm devastated. So here's another loss where I don't even get past the second Celio. I'm like, well, if we go up to Walrein, maybe we can just win. But once I don't get past the Celio for like the 4th time, I'm like, yeah, okay, it's probably time for us to grind. So here's the Elite Four again, but with our Pokemon grinded. Our Pokemon are all up to level 55, which is usually the like mark you want to be when you come into the Elite Four when you have 6 Pokemon. So it's probably a good mark to be when you have 4. So here we are just going, just look how much more damage we do now that we're at 5 levels higher. I know it's like, duh, but it's just crazy how much easier it is once you are a few more levels higher. And yeah, like look at that. That Sydney run was flawless almost. Like it's just, like it's perfect. Everything was almost a one-hit KO or a one-hit KO. And that's like, that's the dream right there, man. When Sydney's a consistent run again, that's good news. When Sydney was just annoying to do, then you've got a problem. If Sydney's hard to do, then yeah, it's just like you've done something wrong. Sydney should be a pretty easy battle. Here I do the double swagger because I know how she operates now. She's always going to double protect. Finally get it off, it curses, and then just allows us to one-shot it from there, which is super helpful because we only have to use one crunch. And here, yeah, Sharpedo just kind of sweeps through the rest of Fiobe's team. Again, I don't know why I don't just go for the surf here, but, you know, nonetheless, here we are. I think I have the soft sand attached, so that's why. That's the only thing I can think of. But I go for another swagger because I'm always just paranoid that these Dusclops are going to go for protect. But look at that. We went through another Elite Four member without losing anyone again, which is huge progress for this team. Like, that's insane for us. Like, I'm proud, guys. I'm proud. I check my PP here. I'm like, yeah, it should be fun. We don't really need to use that many swaggers. So finally, level 55. Surely we can beat Glacier. Surely this is the run now that we are a couple levels higher. We have a bit more HP, a bit more damage. Look at that. Only taking hail damage from the Celio. Half shot Glalie. Half shot it, like finish it off without losing a Pokemon. This is fantastic. This is the run, guys. This is absolutely the run. Look, we almost kill Celio as well. We get a high roll in the Shockwave, which is fantastic. Here I'm kind of like, we'll switch out Bagel, let it die, so then we can get a free switch into Archie. Go get a couple of Earthquakes off. Again, I probably should just be crunching. I think that will do more damage. She sends in Glalie. Get this nasty Steel Wing off. And look at that. We've made it to Warrain with only basically 2 casualties. But nonetheless, we've made it to Warrain. We bring out the Pelipper. We go for the Shockwave. That's really decent damage. We bring out Archie. Earthquake. Earthquake? We did it. We finally beat Glacier. I will admit it now. That was actually my second attempt on Glacier after leveling up. I just didn't want to show you me losing one more time. But here we are, leveling up Pico, not leveling up Pico, sorry, teaching Pico Ice Beam for Drake, because this is a kind of a needed move for Drake, as it is just a powerhouse move here. It goes for Protect this first turn. I'm like, oh, crap. Hopefully you don't restore. It does. And then I'm like, nah, I'm done. I ain't playing this game with you. I don't want to use any more Ice PP than I have to. So I'm going to go ahead, switch in Crobat, deal with that Sheldon. This Ice Beam one-shot Salamence, which is huge. Brings out Altaria. Somehow doesn't one-shot it. I think that probably is a roll as well. But yeah, we just finish it off with Aerial Ace. Another Kingdra, which, as you know, is just not my favorite Pokemon to deal with. But this time we have Aerial Ace, so no double team shenanigans going to be stopping us. Sends out Flygon. Does pretty decent damage with the flamethrowers. Gets his full restore off again because he's a little beta and is using items. Bring out Sharpedo and get these surfs off, and there we go. Drake was one of the only Elite Four members we beat on the first try, so good on us. But now, Wallace. Remember how I was saying before that water types do a bunch of damage to us, but we don't do anything to them, and they do mad damage? Yeah, this is kind of my point encapsulated in a battle. As you can see on our first run, we get frozen by a blind blizzard, which is fantastic. But we do end up taking out this Wailord eventually, thankfully, because like Wailord's real beefy. But yeah, like Wallace again, I think I did more tries on Wallace. The main problem is here as well that I saved after Glacier because I really just didn't want to deal with her anymore. So there was no way we could ever like level up to fix this problem. We basically had to brute force our way through this battle and just kind of keep battling and find out what's working and what isn't. So here I'm like, she's going to full restore. Should I just confuse it? But then I decided, nah, Shockwave's probably just better to get the damage off and just kind of get it out of the way. Brings out Tentacruel. That's okay. We have Earthquake with Archie. It doesn't one-shot, so I was like, okay, well, that's kind of sad, but nonetheless. And she sends out Ludicolo, he sends out Ludicolo, sorry, and that is fine. We just go ahead, Aerial Ace it. And then he brings out Milotic, and my god, do I hate this Pokemon now. Milotic was so annoying. Firstly, I confuse it every battle. I think it only ever hits itself throughout all my attempts like 5 times. And you might be thinking, that's a lot of times to hit itself. That's a lot of times to hit itself. But no, it's not. No one can confuse it over 30 times. So here's another run with me just being absolutely annoyed with this Milotic. We have a full team here, and we don't even kill it. It snaps out of confusion straight away after the Swagger. It's confused. I'm like, please. Yes, fantastic. It hit itself. I go for a flinch. It flinched. Yes, this is huge. And then it recovered. And we get another flinch. Fantastic. It just Ice Beams us now. Flinch again. This is looking huge for us. I switch out to Pico because I kind of know that, like, yeah, Pico's probably more extendable than Crobat. And also we need Crobat for Ludicolo, so I have to keep it alive. And yeah, I get Toxic Stored by goddamn Milotic from an AI, and I just reset. I was done. It's not a Drado hack, broke whatever. It's okay, you don't have to Toxic Store me. But yeah, I was pretty damn annoyed. There's nothing worse than getting Toxic Stored by an AI. It's just obnoxious. But yeah, there we go. Earthquake finally just one-shots Tentacruel there, so it is a roll. She brings out Ludicolo, which is exactly what we like to see. We want to deal with Ludicolo before we have to deal with Milotic, because then we don't really have to worry about keeping Crobat alive, which is very beneficial to us. As he goes for Surf, sorry, kills us once again. I'm like, well, we'll get the Earthquake off. It hits itself in confusion and finally takes it out. I was absolutely bawling my eyes out in happiness. I was so proud. This is the run. Okay, this is the goddamn run. Finally, we can bring out Pelipper for this Gyarados. Shockwave, unfortunately, doesn't like one-shot, which is a bit embarrassing. But there we go. Finally, like, you only saw 3 attempts, but let me tell you, it was 40 minutes with the speed up button, which is 2 times speed, doing Wallace battles. And I would normally lose on his 3rd Pokemon because that was Milotic. So it was probably a good 15 attempts until we got that run. And it was basically, we had to pray that Milotic hit itself at the right time. But with that, we finally finished the challenge. This video has been very long, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more. Leave down in the comment section below what kind of challenge you'd like me to do next. Of course, if we hit that 15 like goal, then I will do the same challenge, but with Team Magma. And as well, guys, if you have made it all the way, let me know if you guys have any ways of improving this challenge content, because it's over 52 minutes and I was really expecting it to be a 30-minute video. But I also think that's because we lost so many attempts, so I really wanted to show my lost attempts as well as my victories. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Our final team was in fact Bagel the Shiny Mariana, Matt the Crobat, Archie the Sharpedo, and then we had Pico the Pelipper. So thank you all for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all next time.